Okay. So this is March 16th that I'm filming this. I read this March 7th and 8th. I started it on the 7th, finished it on the 8th. But this past week, in between now and then, I was like super busy, like crazy, nuts. And so we're gonna pretend like I remember this story. Okay, so here goes pretending. So this is the story of Jessica, who's 16 years old, and she's in school, like 16-year-olds are, and she's coming from a track meet one day, and there is an accident, and she loses a foot, and she's obviously on the track meet team. She's a runner, and this is like, it's basically the end of the world for her. Or the end of the world if she knows it. So she's like, ah. So the first section of the book is like really doom and gloom. Like, it's dealing with, she's just, getting out of hospital, dealing with, and she's really struggling because she can't even hardly walk. And like she has to like crawl, and it's like really hard for her to move. And she was such a good runner. She was like setting records for her school, and so she's like really struggling to deal with the problem with having lost her foot. So the first section or two is really dark, and then she starts getting better. She gets her first initial peg leg. They describe it as like a tube. So, sorry for re-describing it as a peg leg. It's like a pipe, I think is what they describe it as, actually. And she's able to go back to school, and it kind of opens her eyes in some way. She goes to this really massive school. It sounds like an awesome school that would be a disaster to try and navigate, like, as a new kid. But where am I going? Oh yeah, so it sounds like a disaster to navigate as a new kid. Actually, it sounds kind of like it'd be a disaster to navigate in the winter, in a rainstorm, as a new kid, as somebody with disabilities. And so since she has a disability now, she kind of becomes aware of the kids who have disabilities, whether physical or learning disabilities. And so she makes friends, actually, with one kid who has, it's been so long. I swear it's been like 2 months. Please, leave me. She becomes friends with Rosa, who has cerebral palsy, and so she becomes really good friends with Rosa. Rosa like helps her out, and then she begins to discover, as we all know, this was written back, that there are people. It was written back in 2011. There are people who there are running feet. You can get up and run again after losing your feet. And so she just gets told this, and but these feet are expensive. They're God created super amazing feet that they're kind of replaceable, but not even our most high-tech feet aren't as great as God's feet. So these are like super expensive, and she's like, her family doesn't have the money, so her track team gets together and they're like, we are going to earn the money. And they do. And there's a detail in there, and they're earning the money, where there's a character gets mentioned, and this character never gets mentioned again. And I really like that detail, because it makes the book seem so much more real, that the character never gets mentioned again. And I really appreciate that detail. So She gets her leg, which isn't too surprising, and she begins to run, and she changes what her. She used to always run 400 meter, but now she can't. I think the story she can't. At least at the end of the story, she can't get up to speed fast enough to be competitive in the 400 meter really anymore. So she's running a different race. But then she's running on a team. A different team, not just her track team, a different team. I don't know how to talk about the ending without spoiling it. Anyhow, she's running, and she doesn't lose. And the author knows when to end the book. If the author didn't end the book like 1 day later, she would have been, like, oh my goodness, that was horrible. Never doing it again. Did it once. That's enough. Because it's. She ends the book. She's just won this race that the story's about, that the ending's about. That's so good. And the next day, I think she went above and beyond what perhaps wise it would be painful. So it's really amazing, this story of how she goes from not knowing what her life is going to be to starting to figure it out to starting to care about other people. And I just really, really loved The Running Dream. I run, like, almost never, because when I run, I have this terrible habit of holding my breath. And oh my goodness, boy, does that cut down on work. So I don't really run. And I've never, been on any track and fields, so it's teams. So, but I didn't mind. I've never really been to, like, a big school like that. I just enjoyed the story of, someone who's able to just go from such darkness, such hope, to such victory. And I'm so glad the story ended where it did. I'm focusing on that detail. So, I love how, how hopeful and optimistic this book is. Because, like, they never lose hope. And so their dreams come true. And that's just really, really nice. So, there you have it. Running Dream. I don't know when this is going up, if ever. But, yeah, check it out.